What I failed to mention last night was the reason I was keen on putting the boat in the water was that earlier, a day or two before, when I was messing with this thing around dark, I wanted to start it up before I went to bed, so I had something to think about on how everything was working, and I walked away from it for a little bit and came back, and boy, it seemed to be running hot. And I turned my flashlight on and then realized that my doggone muffs for my water hose weren't completely covering the intake there on the lower unit, so I'm afraid I might have starved that impeller in the lower unit, maybe burnt it up, and so and I confirmed last night once I had it in the Cedar Lake that the temperature kept climbing and climbing. The thermostat didn't want to open at its typical 170 degree temperature, so I'm afraid maybe I didn't have any water circulation, so I'm going to go ahead. I've put the drive in forward gear, and now I'm going to drain the oil and then try to find the 6 fasteners that hold that lower unit onto the upper unit. I'd say I found the problem because in all the videos I watched, that impeller came up with this housing and this one didn't, and you can see it's extremely tore up. Like I say, it didn't even have enough frictional fit in the housing here to come up with it, so I'd say this is certainly a candidate for the poor water circulation. Again, it was working. I think I starved it with that darn garden hose when it was dark out, and I was just knew I'd already had it hooked up and just assumed because I heard water running that I had a good connection, and now I'm paying the price. Well, I've been running it about 10 minutes, and it's considerably cooler than before I changed that water pump. Obviously, it was getting close to 225 degrees by this time, I would say. So I'll have to get her out on the water and see what it does.